Good morning, ladies. It is Monday, March 9th, and I come to you to recap week 1 and kick off week 2. It's my heart for us all to be as cohesive and comprehensive as possible during this study. So I thought that a Monday morning online study kickoff video would help with that. So I thought that I would take these Monday mornings to share with you what we went through in Sunday school yesterday, and because some really great things are shared there, and I just want to bring them to the online community. So yesterday in verse 5, we talked about let me read it to you first. It says, "This then is the message which we have heard of him and declare unto you, that God is light, and in him is no darkness at all." We talked about that word darkness, and a sister of ours talked about that in her Bible journal. She drew a tornado around that word darkness, and how to her that the tornado just represents chaos. And I totally related with that. I said yesterday morning, I said, when I think of a tornado, like your hair is all like in your face, and there's stuff swirling around everywhere, and there's papers and books and pillows and toys and all this junk flying everywhere, and it's just chaos. And you just feel like when you're in the darkness, after you come out of that, you just want to be like, wow, that was crazy. And this verse, it says, God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. There is none of that chaos when we're standing in God's light. God, when we're in God, there is none of that. And and so this is the message that these disciples are declaring unto these people. And the word declare was another word that we talked about yesterday. We talked about, they weren't just going around like, hey, if you want, take it or leave it, but Jesus was here, and he said some pretty cool stuff, and we got to see him and hear him, and it was pretty cool. You should, maybe you would like to check it. No, that is not the posture that these guys had. They were declaring. I drew the word declare in like a megaphone right there. I know that my words are backwards because it's flipped with this thing, and that's a bummer, but it's okay. But like there's like one of those megaphones that you would like yell out, like in the on the av1611.com, the word declare, it says to make clear. Then I looked it up in the Greek, and it says announce, to make known, to report. They were not, excuse me, time change. Let's blame it on the time change. They were not just quietly, they were declaring unto us what they had seen and heard, and imploring us to listen and adopt this new lifestyle. And so, that's still happening today via this Bible, this word that is alive. And then we also talked yesterday about the word which. In verse 1, which is used 4 times. And in the English language, that word which is a word that relates to a person or thing. So verse 1 says, that which was from the beginning. That which. So which is directly referring to the word that. All of that together is talking about Jesus. So whenever you see that word which, it's just referring back to God. It's pointing back to God. Remember, getting back on point. That which was from the beginning, that which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we have looked upon, and our hands have handled of the word of life. It's a repetition. God knows that we need it once, twice, 3, 4. It's not, once is not enough. And so he is just bringing glory to the name of Jesus 4 times in one verse, and over again throughout here. And, when you get into those little word studies about the words in the English language and what that means and why those particular words were used, it's just really neat. And one of our sisters shared that was her word study on the word which. That wasn't mine. That was hers. And so that's kind of the nuts and bolts of what we did in Sunday school yesterday. And this week is chapter 2. And in chapter 2, there are 29 verses. So that's roughly 3 verses a day with an extra, fourth somewhere. But I can already tell you, I kind of briefly looked over chapter 2 this morning, and it starts using the term "my little children." And it's just something very endearing about that, something very possessive, I think, in terms of God being possessive over me, his little child. And I just think that's really sweet. And I just like it when I get to read in the Bible where God's calling me, my little children, calling us his little children. So that is that's our recap. One thing I want to encourage you ladies real quick. I wanted to keep this video under 5 minutes, but it's not going to happen. The devil is aware of what is happening here. He is well aware that we're in our Bibles, some of us maybe more than we ever have been, and we are learning that the word darkness means tornadic, and he is tornadic. The devil is tornadic, and he wants to keep it that way, and he wants you to be tornadic as well. Well, that is not God's wish for you. That is not God's plan for your life. That's not his purpose. He wants you to have peace and calm, and he wants you to be in the light. I always think of light as like warmth, and the darkness as cold. Like he doesn't want you to be cold. He wants you to be warm. So I encourage you ladies to stay the course and work really hard to combat the enemy. And I will be praying for you, and I will be combating as well, because I will be honest, I'd really like to lay down and go back to sleep because I'm tired. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to read my Bible. I'm going to do a Bible journaling page and soap, whatever I'm feeling led to do this morning. And I pray that you will too. So I hope you have a good day, and we will see you next time.